Okay, so we will continue with the presentation of our consortium. We bring together 5 higher education institutions from Serbia, Italy, Cyprus, Greece, and Spain. From Serbia, University of Belgrade, from Italy, University of Venice, from Cyprus, the University of Cyprus, from Greece, the Aristotle University of Thessaloniki, and from Spain, the University of Seville, UNESCO Chair on Built Urban Heritage in Digital Era. All 5 partners will work together to design and develop the courses and disseminate them through the international training events, workshop, and the jointly built HERSUS sharing platform. The consortium's partners were selected to strategically develop curriculums following the geographical line of the 7 European schools of architecture. Achieving full European geographic coverage was a high priority, which has been reflected in the selection of partners. The diversity of partners that are established in very different European countries in terms of social economic characteristics and the cultural backgrounds is also an advantage of our consortium. You can hear more about the schools that are participating in this consortium later in the Who is Who in HERSUS session, which is on today's webinar. A couple of things about the motivation. The horizons and the horizons of research and experimentation in the field of architecture and urbanism are expanding rapidly, which determines the understanding, explanation, and prediction of the impact of consequences of these changes on the global scale. It also determines the effective and continuous improvement of courses and methodology towards developing teaching, learning, and practice of urban and architectural design as social innovation and the mechanism for achieving sustainable urban development in different EU cultural contexts. The motivation for establishing HERSUS consortium and creating project proposal rise up from the recognition that the practice and education in the field of architecture and urban design related to the awareness rising about the sustainability of the built environment and heritage face numerous challenges such as social transformation, climate change, globalization, urbanization, and different social infrastructure and housing issues. In that order, we further recognized that teachers, trainers, tutors, and students in the field of architecture and urbanism need specific training and teaching activities within the frame of sustainability and heritage. At one side, a new profile of an architect, urban designer, a professional that is trained in the broad architectural domain, who owns technical, technological, social, humanist, and artistic skills, and therefore equipped to contribute to social and environmental challenges. And on the other side, a new profile of architectural educator, capable for assuming responsibility for the improvement of education and training of the future architects to enable them to meet the expectation of 21st century society worldwide. A very important step in recognition the problems. Can we have another slide? A very important step in recognition the problems and gaps in contemporary education in the field of sustainability of the built environment and the development of awarenesses of heritage was achieved through the implementation of survey, which opened a dialogue with academic community, professionals, policymakers, and decision makers in all 5 countries involved in our consortium. This analysis indicates that most of experts consider that there is low or medium conditionality between sustainability and heritage within the contemporary studies and practices in architecture and urban design, and there are still many opportunities for new exploration and for making linkages. Regarding the reasons behind conditionality between sustainability and heritage within contemporary studies and practices, experts involved in survey have stressed a couple of interesting things. The first one is lack of connection between the theory and practice, lack of know-how methodologies and methods, low level of awarenesses of theoretical advancement, long-lasting separation on the topic of heritage from the debate about sustainable development. Second one, low level of acknowledgements of specific relation in urban policies, reference on sustainability in the rehabilitation of building and outdated urban design policies. The third one, design practice, limited reference for sustainable in design of new buildings and public spaces in relation to the historical environments the dominance of economic factors in architecture and urban design, as well as unclear relationship between energy efficiency requirements and heritage protection. And finally, education with limits amounts of courses and inadequate attention to the relation in studio design projects. In line with analysis, urban reconstruction, adaptive reuse and reliance of heritage have been highlighted and the lead approaches for generating sustainable values for historic buildings, cities, and landscape. In line with explained background, the main objective of this project is generated towards creating a piloting new innovative courses or group of courses, extracurricular activities within extending study programs of participating schools, which can contribute to bringing the gap between sustainability and heritage. In that order, HERSUS aims two main objectives. The first one is to enhance existing study programs at the postgraduate master level, and the second one is to achieve a stable and sustainable education framework complementary to the globally established goals in the field of architecture and urban study education. More specifically, the project objectives are also to increase employability by targeting labor markets needs in designing of sustainable environment, to develop and implement new courses and extracurricular activities in sustainability and heritage at the 4th and 5th year study master level in partner schools, to increase capacity building for study, to strengthen the teaching and pedagogical competencies of academic staff, to promote greater awareness about the types and methods of innovative and sustainable directed teaching and learning. The results of the HERSUS projects and the long-term impact lie in 5 perspectives. The first perspective is research in action, in the sense of analytical process and problem-based research, with it expected to result in a review of good practices in the subject area, a critical questionary in the subject area, and the statement for teaching through the design of sustainability of the built environment and heritage awarenesses. Second perspective is information and enhancing of awareness, is a sense of broadening and rising awarenesses of the importance of sustainability and heritage thematic frameworks while disseminating results at national and European level. Third perspective is networking, in the sense of transnational strategic partnership establishment between the urban and architectural design schools in Europe. Fourth perspective is education and training, in a sense of improvement of the quality of teaching and curricula. Fifth perspective is design and development of new and innovative curricula and teaching methods for urban and architectural design schools in Europe. The project should enhance the quality and relevance of human capacity development in higher education and strengthen the knowledge training between educators, researchers, and practical arena. Therefore, HERSUS will support the development of learning outcome-oriented curricula that better meets the needs of students, aligning them with the labor market requirements. A key innovative value of the HERSUS project is a multi-conceptual framework that includes 3 main pillars to achieve in integrating and sustainable architectural and urban design. So we have these 3 RE pillars recognized with the initial project survey, and these pillars are further strategically defined in order to create educational strength in the form of courses to which knowledge and design skills are acquired. The first one is reconstruction, in the sense of urban heritage redevelopment used to address urban DC in the cities. The second one is reuse, in the sense of the process of reusing an existing architectural heritage for a purpose other than which is originally built and designed for. And the third one is the resilience, in the sense of designing flexible structures that can learn from their environments and creating transformable and sustainable space framework. HERSUS projects includes 5 types of activities which will be implemented in whole period of 34 months of the projects in order to achieve the intended objectives and aims. I will list main, let's say, activities during the project management and implementation of the activities which include communication, dissemination, and quality control activities, and which take place during the all 34 months of the projects. Then we will have 6 intellectual outputs activities, which represent the basic result of the project, of those results that guarantee new values for the practicing university and associate partners. We will have 3 types of activities which include mobility and travel, and which support the design and development of intellectual outputs. First one is the 6 transnational project meetings hosted by each participant country. Then we will have 5 learning, training, teaching activities, including 1 seminar for teachers, 1 training for teachers, and 3 student workshops. And we will have 9 multiple events aimed at students and other target groups, which include a series of promo presentations, open houses in each participant universities, and also in the final year of the project, we will have 1 special event dedicated to the prize on modern built heritage. The following slides will show and announce some of the most important activities open the wider academic and professional community, as well as the students and the key intellectual outputs of the projects. The first intellectual output of HERSUS is review of the best practices on educational sustainability and the heritage, which is presents data collection from each of the participating School of Architecture, best examples of courses, best examples of build projects in participating countries, as well as critical review of current policies. The pilot of this publication is available on our website, and later within the session review of the best practice prepared by the University of Cyprus, you will have able to hear more detailed information about this result, which is going to be presented on today's webinar. The second intellectual output of the HERSUS project is Questionary for the State of the Art. It is currently in progress, and its aim is to create an argumentative and critically analyzed state of learning of sustainability and heritage in the field of urban and architectural design of higher education. The purpose of the questionary results is to support the participating architectural school in establishing high quality standards connected to the teaching in the field of sustainability of the built heritage through cross-cultural communication and problem solving in the international environment. Announcement of questionary and more detailed information about the outputs will be explained and presented in today's session, Questionary for the State of the Art, presented by the Aristotle University of Thessaloniki. The third international output of the HERSUS project is Statement for Teaching through the Design for Sustainability and the Built Environment and Heritage Awareness. We'll present a strategy containing first all qualifications that the architects has to obtain in order to complement to architectural and urban design. And second, all qualifications an architectural educator needs to obtain in order to advance teaching about the sustainability of the built environment and heritage awareness. This output with elaborate proposals regarding the content and the methods of the teaching of the architectural education, which particular focus on sustainability, reconstruction in urban area, adaptive reuse, and resilience and climate change. The fourth intellectual output, HERSUS Sharing Platform, is an open repository of educational resources in the form of web-based available teaching material and is led by University of Venice. This repository will be used for teaching and self-education, both traditionally and multimedia. The platform will collect materials made by all participants with active cooperation of association partners, as well as all results made through the limited and learning activities, student workshops, enterprise, and all the other things. The fifth international output, Book of Courses, will include new competence-based courses, which will have the background for interdisciplinarity, fostering schools internationalization process and providing learning flexibility and mobility. This type of courses can contribute to bridge building between sustainability and heritage and can enhance the position of this topic in architectural and urban design education at the European level. And finally, sixth intellectual output is International Handbook for Students on Research and Design for the Sustainability and Heritage, led by University of Sevilla, which will be conceptualized in the form of learning material that consists the selected papers of the world's leading experts on various topics on the papers written by a consortium of leading professionals dealing with relevant and critical topics within the framework of sustainability and heritage. The first event in the series is seminar on the teaching to the design for sustainability of the built environment and heritage awarenesses, which is an integral part of this webinar, and is reflecting it needs to enhance different professional experts, methodologies, and approaches between the partners' organization, and to discuss on the direction of their development and implementation in the following project activities and existing study programs with involvement of external experts. The seminar session includes 7 keynote lectures and 5 teaching methodologies presentations prepared by the university participating in the HERSUS consortium. You will be able to attend this session in the second half of this day and during the tomorrow session. During the lifetime of the project, 3 student workshops also are planned. The workshops will be based on learning model, which involves students from various study programs and students from different levels of study, what will enable the opening of cross-exchange of knowledge and skills and the development of an integral approach to research and design. The workshop will be attended by students from each participating organization who will apply to participate through an open call within the HERSUS website and sharing platform. Furthermore, tutors, teachers, and critics who will be involved in the realization of the workshop will be representatives of different expertise framework, which could contribute to the development of the comprehensive methodology and addresses a wide range of scales and aspects. In this sense, the proposed workshop models enable the transfer of ideas, knowledge, and access to the peer learning. The 5th activity is training for teachers, design studio-based methods and techniques, which will aim to reconsider the architectural design studio environmental and technical methodology in order to support the climate and the trends which architectural and urban design education. The dynamic translating of architectural practice from teaching, engineering, and technological to an equal social, humanistic, and artistic perspective requires research and testing of new models of education, and above all, reconfiguration of studio-based curricula as a central arena for learning and sharing knowledge in the field of architecture and urban design. It's expertise that the result of this activity will point to the importance of improving the takes for building transferable skills design practice into academic curricula in line with the contemporary agenda of sustainable and heritage. Finally, the prize on the modern built heritage will be organized as a perfect framework to check the results and promote the community and continuity of the HERSUS project objectives and results beyond the partnership within the different universities. This prize will recognize both professionals and students of the best undergraduate and graduate works on modern heritage in each university. Additionally, 5 open house events will be organized in all participating countries and serve as an opportunity for future students and all interested stakeholders to become informed with the diverse offer of master studies and especially with new courses offered by the university consortium. At the end, I would like to take this opportunity to invite you to virtually join the HERSUS community, to follow our official website, which is hersus.org, for project results and subscribe to receive the newsletter. Also, I would like to invite you to follow our official pages on social network that continuously report on HERSUS activities in order to be dated up with upcoming activities and open calls. At the end, it is my pleasure to be able to invite you to stay with us during today and tomorrow on this webinar and to follow the program of our webinar. Soon after the break, you will be able to get informed within the first result of our project within the session Best Practices Review, as well as to get informed with the announcement of the questionary that will be conducted in the upcoming period. Today's final session starts at 2 p.m. and includes the first part of the teaching methodologies prepared by University of Venice and University of Cyprus and University of Sevilla. Tomorrow, we will start with 7 keynote lectures that will be held by great experts from different parts of Europe, who will then open a reflective discussion within the virtual roundtable. For the second part of the day, tomorrow from 3 p.m., the teaching methodology session will be finalized, in which Aristotle University of Thessaloniki and University of Belgrade will present their approaches. Also, on the second day, 2 internal sessions of the consortium will be realized, a kickoff meeting with the representatives of the National Erasmus Plus Office, campus, and the discussion in the planning activities in the upcoming period. So the schedule is very big and full of activities. One more time, I would like to wish you a very pleasant webinar, and I hope that we will together finish it in 2 days and then continue to work on this project during the next couple of years. Thank you very much.